Alright guys, first video back at the setup, and I have to talk about how I'm very upset at you guys. I'm upset! You guys got me to a boiling point where I need to make a video and talk about it? Are you kidding me? Guys, it's one thing that Bo Nickal lost to Reiner de Ritter. I'll concede to that. But it's a whole nother ball game for you guys to go ahead and clown Bo Nickal for it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You guys are making funny gifs of Bo Nickal for losing to Reiner de Ritter, texting Bo Nickals in the DM, saying this, saying that. Are you kidding me? And this is where we're at right now in 2025? We're making fun of Bo Nickal. Guys, I had to go ahead and sit down and think to myself, where did this Bo Nickal hate came from? And after looking and doing a little bit of research, it started when he called out Khamzat Chimaev. Now, I will go ahead and concede again to you guys. I think Khamzat Chimaev washes through Bo Nickal. Even in the wrestling department, I think he washes through Bo Nickal, especially after seeing him fight against Reiner de Ritter. And he did a decent job. He took Reiner de Ritter on the floor. But Reiner de Ritter showed some good threats on some submission attempts. That's why Bo Nickal was scared to really stay on the floor with him, in my opinion. I have to rewatch the fight, but just thought I'd throw it out there. But I think Khamzat Chimaev washes through Bo Nickal. But are we going to go ahead and give Bo Nickal hate for calling out Khamzat Chimaev, an up-and-coming prospect that was undefeated, huge name to himself, the greatest wrestler of our generation, fighting and calling out the greatest wrestler of the middleweight division? If this is what we're doing, we're giving him hate for it? Now, I will say again and concede again, Bo Nickal was crazy because he was on record saying if this fight was to happen at the moment where he said it, and it was booked, he would be a minus 1,000 favorite, which I thought was crazy. That's too crazy of confidence. You know, I'd rather you say you'll knock him out. I'd rather you say you'll out-wrestle him. You keep going with that narrative. But to say you're a minus 1,000 favorite against Khamzat Chimaev, ha, calm down, buddy. This dude was talking about facing Shavkat Rakhmonov, and I'd still love to see that fight. Khamzat versus Shavkat. Guys, let's go ahead and book it. But let's go ahead and talk about the Reiner de Ritter fight and Bo Nickal. Because, man, this fight right here, I thought this would have been fireworks. I thought this was a 5-round bout on top of that. But this was a 3-round bout. But going into the fight, let's look at the final moments of the fight. Put this on mute. Bo Nickal was not defending himself. And at this point, I'm like, what's going on, Bo? What's going on? But Bo Nickal was just taking tough shots. Light patty touchy shots, but them things are connected. Bam, 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 bam. Bo Nickal's not feeling those punches at all, but it was this shot right there to the midsection, to the core, that took out Bo Nickal. Whoo! And it had Bo Nickal crying and pleading for dear life. And at this moment, I was in awe. I was like, no way. There's no way in a million years I'm looking at Reiner de Ritter knock out Bo Nickal. Now, guys, I need to go ahead and shout out to the Weasel for putting out this picture frames of the fight. We need to break down the fight ourselves. We're not going to be playing the Weasel's audio, but we will be stealing his pictures. So shout out to the Weasel. But this is Bo Nickal's face right here, being in awe after the fight. You go ahead and look at him. Had him bending the knee. Like what Triple C says, bend the knee. Ah, man, Bo Nickal in this position. That's crazy to see. Reiner de Ritter's hands up. Bo Nickal's not hands down. The double champ, though. Now, let's go ahead and look at the breakdown of the fight. This is what the story was. Because Reiner de Ritter, he was sneaking in those knees to the point where I didn't even notice it in the fight. Like, he was throwing those knees from the very jump. It was like that was his game plan. He understood, we're going to get into these tight exchanges. And when we do, I'm going to be the better fighter just by simply getting to the body. And that knee right there, that connected flush, that was foreshadowing how this fight was going to play out. Bang! They got into tight exchanges, and then you could just see that knee. Bo Nickal trying to lift the leg up, trying to find a way to connect, to defend the knee while still having a body lock connected. But how can you connect a body lock when you have a knee that's just landing flush like that? Oh my lord, the Weasel has it set up beautifully. Again. Let's hear the audio real quick from the Weasel.
Defending most of the shots. He was looking for the big overhand, expecting Reinier to stand up tall and stay in front of the punches, but he was able to evade a few of those big left overhands, most of the time by level changing or just ducking his head slightly enough to get under the punch, and another time he got under 2 punches.
I want to get to the moment where Bo Nickal dropped down Reinier de Ridder.
He went for the takedown, but the takedown.
The stand-up game was just the kind of bland from the only crazy moment was when Reinier de Ridder threw the knees in the clinch.
The skills of Bo Nickal. He is a wrestler. He hasn't been fighting in MMA that long. Does he have the skills once the fight gets to the ground, when his opponent is on his back? In wrestling, that would be a pin. That would be the end of the match. But in MMA, that's where the
different ball game
essentially starts, not ends. And Reinier de Ridder is very good on the ground.
And this is where he threw those submission attempts. Now you're talking my language. Let's get back on mute. Let's get back on mute. This is when Reinier de Ridder showed where I am going to be way better than you on the ground, whether I'm on my back. Because it was this moment where, boom, Bo Nickal threw a good shot to the temple. But I don't think it mattered. Because, look, once you see those legs go up from Reinier de Ridder, had it locked in like this, he has a weird body structure. So his body locking up like this, I can just know from Bo Nickal's point of view, it just felt weird because Bo Nickal didn't want to engage in that punching affair on the top control. This is where, okay, boom. This is all Reinier de Ridder right here. Bo Nickal, he had nothing. Nothing for him. Nothing for him. You don't see those punches. You don't see none of that anymore. This is Reinier de Ridder on the bottom that's doing his thing. Armbar attempt. And this is what scared Bo Nickal. And this is where I knew things were going to change. Because Bo Nickal didn't want to exchange in those little jiu-jitsu exchanges with Paul Craig. And this is why I felt like he should have. Because he wouldn't have been scared at that moment with Reinier de Ridder. He would have stayed on top. But he let Reinier de Ridder have a moment to scramble out of there. Bo Nickal had sprawl. That didn't mean anything because, hey, and he went for a guillotine, which was crazy. Which was crazy, actually. I didn't even remember that. He went for a guillotine on Reinier. Wow. So Bo Nickal was looking for a finisher because it was not for defense he threw that guillotine. At this moment, Bo Nickal got back up because you're not just keeping Bo Nickal on the floor. Boom. Boom. Let's go right here. Bo Nickal took him down. And this is where things changed. Let's play the audio.
Afterward. But for the majority of the fight, it was a clinch strikes from Reinier de Ridder, throwing combinations. I mean, body, head. At one point, grabbing onto the hand of Bo Nickal. He could have been grabbing onto
I love the sound effects.
Glove, but it looks like he's grabbing onto the actual hand, which is allowed. Pulls him inward and drives a left knee to the body.
Oh my gosh!
So much leverage into these shots, and he's also positioning himself perpendicular to Bo Nickal so he can have a good angle to drive the knees into.
Those knees were connecting flush.
Perpendicular to Bo Nickal so he can have a good angle.
Look at that angle. Oh, that is spectacular. Mwah.
To drive the knees into the body, constantly holding that position throughout the fight. And against the fence, where it looked like Reinier was working his way to a finish, he's landing a lot of punches to the head, punches to the body. Bo Nickal had no answer for it. Actually returns back with a right hand. Connects.
Oh, it connected. I didn't know that right hand connected, actually. Wow.
Punches to the head.
I thought he was just throwing an air at that punch.
Bo Nickal actually returns back with a right hand.
Wow, good capture.
But then Reinier eats it like it's nothing. Lands a right hand of his own. And eventually,
wow, this is just tough son of a bitch.
A few moments after. And in the finish, Bo actually lands a left overhand. So this is after all the body damage. Of course, it's going to take out the win from Bo, which is going to make his punches even weaker. But still, Reinier eats the punch, lands the knees.
This dude Reinier de Ridder is tough.
The body, finishing the fight. But it was a huge hype derail. I mean, Bo Nickal was the guy that the UFC really wanted to push far. And as a lot of the people that understood this matchup, it was too big of an obstacle, too big of a speed bump for their biggest prospect. For everybody that understood how good Reinier.
Now, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I don't think this is a fraud check from Bo Nickal, man. I think this is a showcase on how good Reinier de Ridder is. because we weren't giving Reiner de Ritter that much love when he was facing a Kevin Holland. We weren't giving him that much love when he was facing a dude like Bo Nickal. And he's still going to keep becoming the underdog. I think when he faces Sean Strickland, that is an interesting fight. Sean Strickland is going to make a nasty fight with anybody. He's going to make it bloody. He's going to make it a war. Now, I do think Dricus du Plessis is the only exception on that, just for the second fight, just for the simple fact that was a different version of Sean Strickland. But I think this new version of Sean Strickland versus Reiner de Ritter is going to be an absolute banger. And I don't know who wins that fight. I'm not just going to say Reiner de Ritter just annihilates him. But I think Reiner de Ritter is going to showcase that he is a #1 contender, potential type fighter. And he is going to be scared for anybody in the middleweight division. So, guys, be on point with Reiner de Ritter. All in all, guys, I don't need to tell you this once. I need to tell you this twice. Like the video, subscribe. It's your boy Fetty MMA. I'm out.